Hello everybody, my name is Cul Blu, and this is me bringing you guys random podcast number 83, and I'm not sure if this is an all, or ability draft edition, or an all pick, or what, because I just basically saw a friend playing Dota, and I was like, hey, I know that person, and I have connections, so I'll just be bringing a broadcast of that game. I'll see what it is in a few seconds. It is a all pick. Okay, so this is just an all pick. No all pick, guys. Nothing to see here. No ability draft. We already had one of those, and that was crazy to begin with. But the person who my friends is, you guys see this, the little front figure right there, is Neslick, who was previously of Gamer University. Then he moved to L Pride, and then he moved to, I think he's a mouse sports manager last time I heard. I have not a clue where he's at right now, but he's obviously in this game, so let's go ahead and get this show on the road. So it's all pick. We'll just wait for these guys to finish picking up things, and I don't really have much to say outside of that, except for I'm at the cinema, according to one of my apps.
But he's rather nice once you get to know him better.
More on that in a second. It is incredibly hot in this room, and I have a blanket on my feet, and I got a fan over here that's unplugged, so I gotta do the awkward thing of plugging my fan in while I'm casting. I'm trying to tell you guys a play-by-play. And there we go. Okay, fan's plugged in, so no play-by-play. Fan was unplugged, now fan is plugged in. Boom. That's all you get. That's all you get from me. But yes, this is the new patch of Dota, so we do see some awesome heroes put into the pool. Namely Terrorblade. I'm not a fan of Phoenix, because Phoenix gets on my nerves. Freaking ability to run away from you anytime she wants, or it wants, is annoying as heck. And for those who are wondering who the heck I'm talking about when I say Phoenix, I actually mean Icarus, which is the original name apparently, or the other name that Phoenix goes by. But it's called Phoenix in this game. But we do have a Terrorblade getting picked up on the side of the Dire, so I'm a little bit excited to see how that plays out. As far as I can tell, Terrorblade carries pretty darn hard, especially when you start building those big items to help your illusions do more damage. Alright, so all sides are fully picked. I think the Dire side was fully picked first, but the Radiant are all in the game already, so let me go ahead and do introduction start on their side. Start off with this Mirana, or Mirana. We see Mizuo Nameho. I hope I pronounced that right. On her. Moving over to this Magnus, who's actually running towards the top. We see Cobus, and on this Lycan thrower we see Phaselus on him. Moving on to this Bane, we see OMG, WTF, BBQ, LMFAO, Raffle Copter, Pone Sauce. Thank you guys, thank you. I know, that was awesome, I agree. On that Bane, moving on to the Spectre, we see Spectre, Basher, Furion, DTC. Don't know what that stands for, but
to battle.
There we go. And I think that's everybody on the side of the Radiant. And actually I need to change these settings really fast before I get too far in. I was just looking at my items. You guys can take a sneak peek and rewind and pause that if you want to. Let me turn my audio on just to get in the habit of doing that. So I'll remember to do them all together. There we go. So moving on the Dire side, I start off on this Storm Spear mid. Coincidence, it's Neslick. Shout out to you, Neslick, love you. Meanwhile, moving over up top on this Doomburn, who already has a haste rune. We see Nefer Pitu on Doom. Moving over to his Crystal Maiden, we see Burning Ashes on her. And on this Terrorblade, we see Blue Banana the Vow. Wow, that's a mouthful. And last but not least, on this Clockwerk, who's actually running around playing some football with these guys, we see Fletch on him, eating his trees, eating his way out of the way, doing some nice little jukes, making sure that nobody gets caught, nobody dies too early, and nobody feels bad about feeding. So as far as how the lanes are panning out to be, we got a Magnus on a suicide solo lane for the Radiant side, versus a Crystal Maiden plus a Terrorblade, I will say Abaddon. Terrorblade with a Doombringer in the jungle, so it's going to be a very, very frustrating lane for Magnus, because, I mean, early game Crystal Maiden, she has the Frostbite, and then you have the damage coming from Terrorblade, and Terrorblade can actually dish out some really good damage early on, but he can only do it like once every 2 minutes. Of course, I'm referring to his Metamorphosis, and also his Conjure Image. His Conjure Image, it's a 30% slow at level 1, but at level 4, it's a 60% slow, which is quite ridiculous. And for those who don't know what redact means, it's like we're saying ridiculous. On this mid lane, we got a Mirana versus a Storm, and this ought to be an interesting lane, because if Storm gets caught with an arrow, he's obviously dead. And speaking of getting caught with an arrow from Mirana does fly, hits a creep. She wants to get a last hit, and Storm denies it. Neslick saying, bro, none of that. Meanwhile, in the jungle, we see, for the Radiant, we see Phaseless on that Lycan, doing a nice little job punching some mud golems, because nobody likes mud golems. And down on this bottom lane, we got a dual lane with the Bane plus the Spectre versus a suicide solo Clockwerk for the Dire. And actually, speaking of suicide solos, we got Magnus on top taking a whole bunch of damage. Maiden did get a frostbite off, but it did not result in a kill. So sadly, we don't see any of that. But we do see Invis Rune up on Neslick on the Storm Spirit. He actually might find a Lycanthrope if Lycan does decide to get greedy. But sadly, Lycan did back away just in time. Neslick does see him running away. He's not going to be able to catch up to him, but that would have been an easy first blood. And speaking of easy first bloods, up top, we got these Magnus getting surrounded by a whole bunch of damage. And down bottom, we got a Clockwerk going for the battery assault on top of Bane. Bane nightmares the Clockwerk, but he's still getting hit with that battery assault. And that battery assault level 1. It's a pretty dangerous thing. Oh, actually level 2. Pretty dangerous thing. It deals like a massive amount of damage. 560 damage at level 2. It did my numbers for me, so great. So yeah, so up top, Magnus should be safe because he has that skewer. He can run away if he does get frostbitten like he is right now. He's going to get frostbitten. He's going to actually skewer forward the Terrorblade, and Terrorblade's actually going to go for the range for him, try to get the kill. Does get the first blood, but he will be losing his life here because the creeps are a little bit too OP. Eating his trees, eating his way to a healthier Dota, and wow, okay. Pretty cool play. I would have walked into the trees and died because I'm bad at Dota, but this guy knows what he's doing. Wasted only 3 tangos and made it out alive. It's a really good play coming up from Terrorblade, and the combination, like I said before, it's a very scary thing because Maiden has the early game aggression. Terrorblade has the damage to follow up on that because he's in range for him now. He's hitting for quite a bit. Look at how much HP he's losing. Holy crap. Magnus does have a skewer, so he can't run. It looks like Magnus is trying to stall it out, but it looks like he's going to lose his life here again. The range for him a little bit too strong, and the range just barely runs out, but it doesn't matter. Maiden got his back, and once again, Terrorblade gets a kill. He gets a kill, he just casually derps on away.
Tower is under attack.
And guys, keep in mind this is versus Magnus. Now, to be fair, Magnus should have definitely been running away already. Like, actually popped his skewer and tried to keep running because there was no reason for him to actually be taking that much damage. But he was trying to save it for a rainy day, and that rainy day never came, and it snowed instead. And now school's canceled for 3 days. And speaking of school getting canceled, we got Neslick on that Storm Spirit getting hit with the arrow. Big damage coming from Mirana. Bane gets a nice little brain sap as well for the extra nuke. Dead. Storm is dead. So action happening everywhere. Not as action-packed as some of the other games we've seen before, sure, but a lot of cool little things getting played around, specifically on this Terrorblade. I'm just really interested to see how Blue Banana plays them out. And so far, Blue Banana is playing them out pretty darn well. If you look at the last hits, Terrorblade not really leading in the last hits, but he does have the most kills. Or actually, he only has 1 kill. He has. Yeah, him and Maiden are tied for the most kills. Up top, we see her Gavin coming on top of Magnus. Magnus does get hit with the, oh, no, Frostbite does miss. Or, Nova does miss. Frostbite does go through. Magnus will be able to skewer if he needs to, but Cul Blu will just go ahead and save that and walk away. Because Terrorblade is not in range of being scary. So down bottom, we just got these guys chilling out. Spectre, she's sitting on a ring of health. Looks like she's going to be going for a Vanguard, which nah. It's whatever. It gives her illusions HP, which is good. But meanwhile, on top, we see a Magnus about to die here very soon. Ulti comes out from Terrorblade. Terrorblade goes in and pops the conjure image. Or, yeah, he pops out the conjure image. Gets the reflection as well. Or, no reflection. Maybe if he had a reflection, that could have been a dead Magnus. But Magnus was able to skewer away. And yeah, you guys see the damage from Terrorblade is actually very scary. Like, he's hitting for 139 at level 5. This is without an ultimate. So a conjure image takes some damage and goes down. Invis Rune bottled up by Neslick on that Storm. He's actually going to rotate up top. Try to go for a kill on top of Magnus, which should be easy kill. And Storm also, he has his ult, so he can actually zip to the back of the tower. He's actually going to zip forward, catches this Magnus in danger. Actually pulls him towards a little bit of safety, to be honest. But he does, at the end of the day, still get the kill. And that's all thanks to this very offensive Observer Ward. We've seen it many times in pro games, but you guys might wonder why the heck did they place a ward here and why is it so powerful? And the reason why it's so powerful is because, oh man, okay, nice little Sunder thrown out from Blue Banana and its little abilities. It's all about a co-op game. Basically what Sunder does for Terrorblade is it replaces the HP of one person with his, and they swap HPs. And Neslick on that Storm Spirit had full HP. Terrorblade didn't want to walk back to base to heal up, so he just sundered his ally, and now Neslick will be walking about his way because he has a bottle as well.
You'll profit nothing.
The only thing about it is that his ulti will be on cooldown. Mirana is up top. Arrow does get dodged by Burning Ashes, so it looks like these guys will be playing it safe here. The ulti for... No, well, not the ulti, but the Metamorphosis for Terrorblade, which I think is more important than the ulti. It will be up in 33 seconds, so they can start being aggressive then. Meanwhile, we have Fletch on that Clockwerk, rotating up top. His Rappel is ready, in hand. They have the vision necessary to actually go for it, but it will be fading here in 6 seconds' time.
Safe.
It looks like they won't be getting anything. The Observer Ward from the Radiant was able to scout the clock, and they did back away accordingly. Meanwhile, Magnus has himself a Vladimir's Offering because he wanted to rush for that. He has the damage necessary to go ahead and go for Roche if he really wanted to.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Handemight has picked up on Doom. He's just having a grand old time in the jungle, eating creeps and killing stuff with money. Meanwhile, Mirana does get hit with the Rappel from Clockwerk. She also gets herself a haste rune. That was picked up by her. And she leaps away in Clock. Fletch on my Clock won't be getting anything. Speaking of people who aren't getting anything, Lycan's not going to be getting no Roshan anytime soon. Does get some life still, but not enough. Bane shows up, not in time. And that's going to be the end of that. But it looks like Mirana's coming around the corner. Mirana trying to get an arrow. Gets a Starfall, but it doesn't really do any damage. It's a nice zip out from Storm. He might be getting shot in the back by an arrow. The mana drain does go through, but not enough mana drain out. Mirana has a haste rune. She's ready to go for something. The slow gets on top of Mirana, but sadly she has a haste rune. And now her haste rune will be running out. And now her watch ends. She pops herself a healing cell to make sure she's nice and healthy. And a clarity. And a bottle charge. And the aggression coming from both sides is definitely where it needs to be. Mirana doing a good job of rotating around, and the ward vision on the map is really excellent, keeping everybody nice and healthy. Except for the people on the dire side. Looks like Terrorblade might be going down here very soon. Mirana has an arrow ready. She tosses it, and it will be hitting on top of Terrorblade. Terrorblade going to be in a lot of trouble. That's a 5-second stun. If he can get a Sunder off, it'll be really nice, but I really doubt he'll be able to get it to. Yes, he will be able to get the Sunder off, and that's going to be a dead Magnus. Beautiful play coming out from Blue Banana, and that will be a dead Mirana as well. She had a Conjure Image thrown on top of her. Double kill for Terrorblade, and guys, that just shows you the terror that Terrorblade puts in people. The reason why he's so freaking scary, because if he survives for long enough, he'll just pop that Thunder and just kill you straight dead. I've had it happen many a times the first time I played against him. And also there was a two-edged sword. It was a Phoenix and it was a Terrorblade on the enemy team the first game I played after the patch. I was like, oh cool, these guys are awesome. I just have to be careful. But anyway, speaking of being careful, we got Doombringer getting called the ulti from Bane. The Spectre shows up, gets the last hit on top of it. So that's gonna be more gold for her. And she also has the gold necessary for her Vanguard. She wants to go for it.
Middle tower is under attack.
Arrow from Mirana misses. Mirana trying to come forward with the damage. Nestle going to be able to juke it back and forth with that Storm Spirit, so he'll be fine, but he does need some mana now. Likely he'll be going to check the rune. Rune is being protected by Crystal Maiden. Good job, Burning Ashes. Oh man, Mirana shows up. Crystal Maiden has to deny the rune. I don't know why she didn't pick it up, but she does deny the rune. Clockwerk rappels forward, catches somebody on the backside. He catches a Lycan throw. And Lycan pops at ulti. He's going to go for all the damage that he possibly can on top of his Clock. Looks like he will be going down at the end of the day. Spectre ulti does go through. Gets a kill on top of Clockwerk. Gets a kill on top of Lycan. And it looks like Neslick will be going down, getting slapped in the face. And Doom is going to be on the run, but he gets slapped in the back. So much damage from the arrow and also the brain sap combination, and people are dying. The only silver lining in this whole entire thing is that everybody on the side of the Radiant was there. And the Dire, everybody that was not Terrorblade showed up, and Terrorblade was up top farming all by his lonesome. So that's the only silver lining for the Dire in that case.
Dire's middle tower is under fire. Dire has secured.
Yeah, Lycan has himself a Vladimir's Offering, likely going to be working for a Medallion of Courage next,
Dire's middle
which will help him out as far as
end
killing
of business.
somebody like Terrorblade. I don't know how much armor Terrorblade gets, but he is an agility hero, so he's likely to get a bunch of free armor. Oh my gosh, 14
Dire's
armor
middle
already.
tower is in the wrong
14
end of
freaking armor.
business.
To put that into perspective, let's look at Clockwerk's armor, who's freaking made of metal. He only has 4. And Chris made it ulti getting thrown out under the tower. Not going to be catching anybody. Clockwerk rappels forward, catches a Mirana. Mirana takes a whole bunch of damage. He pounces forward. Nestle zips across the map. Not enough mana to actually do anything. And they're going to continue using bottle charges.
Getting walloped.
And they both have the
Dire's
bottles.
bottom tower is on its
Is there
way
some
further
communal
down.
bottle usage getting thrown there? I'm not too sure.
Radiant's
Oh my gosh,
top
I'm
tower
moving.
needs bandages.
There we go.
Dire's bottom tower.
Meanwhile, bottom
has
tower gets taken
fallen.
down. Lycan plus Spectre plus Wolves plus a Feral Impulse equals a dead tower. And there we go, Medallion of Courage, recipe purchased up by Lycan. He has a courier bringing
Dire's
him his
bottom
recipe,
tower is under attack.
and he'll be ready to be more aggressive a little bit later. Meanwhile, Crystal Maiden, Burning
Radiant's
Ashes,
middle tower
gonna be
is
going
under
down
attack.
here. Easiest kill of their life. All they have to do is catch up to it. Gets a nice little shockwave. Damage coming from the Wolf. Spectre able to pick up the last hit because Crystal Maiden was all by herself, so extra damage as well. And I really wonder what Burning Ashes was doing down there. I can understand if he was trying to ward, but didn't have any wards. Middle tower is within the 9 range. Nestlick on that Storm Spirit taking a whole bunch of damage. Get hit with the arrow, gets hit with the ulti from Bane, and now he can't zip out. Has no mana left. Trying to get the bottle charges to go through. Too much damage coming from the front side. And that's going to be it for that. Middle tower gets denied as well.
Radiant's middle tower has been denied.
So things sucking all around. The items looking pretty nice. We got Storm Spirit working on his Bloodstone, which would be really great once he gets that. Terrorblade going to be getting himself a Yasha or Mantis style. Going for that ultimate ult first because, well, that's more stats for his illusions. Meanwhile, Lycan's doing Roshan because he has his Blast plus his Medallion of Courage. Ready to go, ready to kill. RTK.
Radiant defeated the fearsome Roshan.
Immortality.
And the Aegis goes to like 13-minute Aegis. Not that bad. Not that bad at all. And so many illusions from Terrorblade. They're all going to be dying too. Shockwave too much power. Interesting things happening around the map. Just people rotating and farming. Boring stuff, really. But the items, like I said, the items are looking very interesting. I can't wait till Terrorblade gets his Mantis style, because that's going to be a lot of damage, especially for his illusions, and especially for his whoever is getting focused, because they're going to have an illusion on them, They're also going to, oh man, Nestlick on that Storm Spirit, feeling very brave, zips all the way forward, steals the rune, it's a regen rune, so it's definitely worth it. Lycan not going to be able to do anything but keep on running. He does have his ulti ready, so if he does get caught out, he'll be able to pop that and run away. Clockwerk looking for Rappel, not going to go for it, instead going to flare. And if Clockwerk does Rappel in and gets the power cards on this will be very nice, but he doesn't have any damage to follow up on him, so he's not going to go for it. Chris Maiden is really the only one left there. There we go. Meanwhile, Doombringer kills the Spectre down bottom. And we got Abaddon, I'm sorry, not Abaddon, Terrorblade chasing the Magnus. Magnus going to skewer forward. The ulti from Bane falls on top of Terrorblade, and Terrorblade is going to be going down here. He does have a Sunder, but I don't know. Never mind, the Sunder is going to be going through on top of Magnus. Magnus loses a lot HP and also loses life. Nightmare coming from Bane on top of Terrorblade, and Terrorblade just casually uses the illusion to get himself out of that trap. Mirana ulti did fly as well. The arrow flies as two. The arrow will be almost hitting on point. But a Blue Banana says, bro, I'm too good for that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Tower has uninvited guests.
This is cool looking at
Radiant's
Terrorblade.
bottom tower is now.
I still think Terrorblade looks a little silly, but I do agree with the person who said it, that Terrorblade looks awesome. Or, at the end of the day, Terrorblade is all around an awesome character model. Clockwerk going to be losing all of his armor, -2 armor for him. He's going to take a little bit of damage, but he'll be fine. Crystal Maiden is here to help him out with the Frostbite plus an ulti if she really needs to throw one. The Dire do have an Observer Wood over here, so they do see the stack getting done by Lycan. They could potentially engage on this fight, and that'll be a really good fight for them. The Flare does fly from Clockwerk, just trying to scout it out a little bit, or maybe just get Lycan a little bit worried. I really do think that they should have just, oh, never mind, doesn't really matter. Ace is going to get popped here. Storm, Nestlick on that Storm will be able to jump out. The Doombringer is here with his ulti, or waiting for something. Has a little ability. Clockwerk rappels forward just in time, gets the power cards too. Lycan taking a whole bunch of damage. He's going to be going on a beautiful blink plus RP from Magnus. Catches 3, and all 3 die as well. Chris Maiden on the backside doing her ulti, goes down 2, and Lycan says, "Leave me alone, bro. I'm doing my agents." So impressive rotation coming out from the Radiant. Nice response, a nice blink in from Magnus, catching 3 altogether because he knows everybody on the side of the Dire who are worth doing damage are all going to be in melee range. Storm Spirit, he's going to pull somebody towards him. Doombringer, he's going to need to be close to you to punch you. And Clockwerk, he's trying to get his power cogs all up in your
Dire's
face.
middle tower
So
is
that's going to
under
be easiest
attack.
RP of Magnus'
Dire's
life.
middle
That's all I
tower
can
has
say.
fallen.
Necro book coming up on Lycan because Necro is legit as crap. Heavy
Dire's
push,
middle tower
heavy
is
kill,
under attack.
heavy everything. And it's also going to be nice versus Terrorblade because Terrorblade's Sunder does cost mana. I don't know if Lycan will be able to burn it fast enough. But at least... Oh man, actually I take it back. Level 16, it doesn't matter. It costs no mana. I did not know that. I did not know that at all. That's kind of scary. Still has a long cooldown though. Oh no, 40-second cooldown. Wow. I'm learning new things every day, guys. Whoop. Clockwerk flare top. Not gonna find it by too important. Actually, Terrorblade is gonna be going for the Scotty instead of the Mantis though. So Scotty for more HP for your illusions. I guess it makes sense. It's either that or go for a heart, but for Terrorblade, he's an agility hero. He needs the agility stats. Just basically getting any stat item in general is going to help him out a lot. It's kind of like building for a Phantom Lancer, except for your... Well, Terrorblades typically don't build for diffusals. But he could, theoretically. He could. So he'll have a mana burn plus just free damage. That'd be cool. Taking a quick look at the gold graph, you guys see the gold graph is essentially 0 because these guys are farming out the mines on both sides. XP graph is in favor of the Radiant, mainly because they haven't been 5-manning or dying all that much. And also Lycan has his has been farming by his ultim. And speaking of Lycan, Lycan does show up down bottom. The TP not going to come out. Doombringer ulti's on top of the Magnus. Spectre ulti flies through as well. She has a Radiance. Ulti from Mirana goes down. Just so Spectre can keep going, and Spectre, like I said, she has a Radiance. She jumped to another illusion because you can do that. And Chris Maiden does die to the Spectre. Double kill for her. I'm sorry, actually double kill for Lycan. Chris Maiden not going to be counted for kills. Not too sure. They just thought she wasn't worth the text. That's messed up. And Scotty finished up on Terrorblade. Sadly, the illusions do not get that.
Dire's
Scotty, you
bottom
need to attack
tower
right
is
away.
in turmoil.
It is a unique attack modifier. Cool. Storm Spirit versus the world. He's going to go ahead and defend his tower all by himself. Neslick doing all he can to keep Lycan down. And the ulti from Bane going to keep Storm Spirit down. Negative armor coming out from Lycan. And the Magnus blinks forward. Skewers him to the side. Beautiful juke coming out from Storm. And now we got the dead Bane. Bane does deny his ally. So we got a dead Lycan. Bane does deny his ally. And Terrorblade is going to be able to make this one alive. Getting chased by a nice little Necro warrior. Turns around, he doesn't want to kill that. You don't want to kill that, bro.
Dire's
He has an illusion killing instead.
fallen.
Gets 100 gold, doesn't take any damage, feels like a baller. It was a good day. I still think his character model on Terrorblade looks gigantic. It's like he's unnecessarily big. Like he's almost like another Doombringer, which makes sense. Because they're both
Dire's
technically
top
from the same
tower
area, but
isn't
still.
well at the moment.
He's just like gigantic for no reason. Like his wingspan is the whole entire fountain. Look at that, the silly stuff. Huh, illusions benefit from region. Who'd have thought? So both sides are going back to their own devices, trying to farm up what they can. We might be seeing some aggression come out from Radiant here very soon, though, because everybody is kind of towards that area of, hey, let's go gank people. Magnus has a Smoke of Deceit up on him. Nobody else. Lycan has a Smoke of Deceit, too. Kill goes towards Mirana up top, and Clockwerk catches the Mirana. Mirana pops an ulti. The Death of Appearance gets thrown out by Clockwerk. He's onto her. He knows what's up. Gets killed on top of Mirana. Meanwhile, we have Terrorblade. Where's Terrorblade? He's still in jungle farming. Just going to keep farming what he can. Around the corner, we see Magnus looking for an angle. Not going to be able to find any true angle. Spectre ulti does fly. They do see the Terrorblade and Terrorblade's illusion. Terrorblade's going to kill the illusion of Spectre, sorry. And a Hatron's actually down here. A Hatron's actually around this corner, but nobody's going to pick it up. Like, no. Okay, never. I thought I saw a Hatron. Maybe they did pick it up and I didn't see it. Let's see. Nope, didn't see it. I'm just crazy, guys. illusion for Terrorblade. Gonna run around the corner, chasing a Bane. Bane gonna take a little bit of damage, take a little bit more damage. Nightmare on top of the illusion. Look how tanky this illusion is. It's only taking 200% of the damage from everything, but he can survive, the illusion can survive a whole entire shockwave plus a full nightmare. Which nightmare doesn't do a whole bunch of damage, sure. But shockwave does do a decent amount of damage. But these illusions are soldiers right now. Gonna come on through, march, and try to kill whatever they can. Terrorblade gonna continue his game of farming, gonna farm up some Ancients and Roshan. I don't know if Rosh is back up. It's not gonna be up for a little bit. AC almost up on Doombringer, and that'll benefit everybody. It's more so Doombringer, because he has a lot of raw HP, but he doesn't have a lot of armor. Meanwhile, Terrorblade has 20 freaking armor, guys. 20 freaking armor for Terrorblade and his peoples. Terrorblade also scouting out Roshan, using his illusion to his best abilities. Finds himself a Lycan throw, but Lycan, I don't know if he can actually go for that kill, because Lycan can pop that ulti and run away if he needs to. But meanwhile, the wolves do get scouted out. Terrorblade going to collect himself a little bit of gold. And his illusion only costs 80 mana. It's ridiculous. Clockwerk Rapple does fly through, doesn't catch the Spectre, but they do still see her. I don't know if Clock has an Ags. Okay, he doesn't have an Ags. So it's going to be a long time for that Rapple's back up. Usually by this time, if a Clockwerk is going to be building for an Ags, they have an Ags already. And actually, oh my gosh, Terrorblade gets caught out. He's going to be getting surrounded by everybody. Lycan's going to be the first person to show up. And now we got Bane throwing on the ult to the Clockwerk, and also Company are showing up. So much damage from Terrorblade, and Terrorblade going to be going down. Nobody actually able to do anything, and now we got the ulti from Spectre coming to the front side. Beautiful ulti from Doombringer, double dust, because everybody wants to kill the Spectre. And it looks like the Magnus RP does catch the Crystal Maiden only, and she's going to be going down, but it looks like Doom is going to be able to make it out alive. And Clockwerk, he TP's out. TP's to safety, and 3 people dead on the side of the Radiant. Spectre, she's the only one. Oh, I was about to say, she's the only one who fell, but she had a little too much HP. And Roshan should be back up momentarily. He's going to fall in 3, 2, 1, -1, -2, -3, -4. There you go. Roshan's up. Lycan going to send another wolf to scout it out. Sees that Rosh is up. Terrorblade should be up within the time that the Radiant start doing Rosh, if they so desire to start doing it. And they will be doing Roshan, so Terrorblade will be able to TP in, or, okay, he can't TP out that close, but Flare from Clockwerk will scout it out. They do know that Roshan is going on. They are going to back away on the Radiant. So actually, no, they're going to keep going for it. These guys are troopers. They want to go for it. Terrorblade going to push up top.
Dire's middle tower is in the wrong end of business.
And meanwhile, we see Terrorblade TP mid. He's actually going to try to help him get a kill on top of Mirana, who does have her ulti up. Actually, no, her ulti's on cooldown, sorry. But she's getting perma-slowed by a storm, and now we got Terrorblade. If they just make Terrorblade available, Terrorblade going to get hit with the arrow. No, the arrow just barely misses. Meanwhile, Roshan's going to get contested here very soon. We got Doombringer plus Clockwerk show up. Beautiful, beautiful clogs coming out from Clockwerk, and Lycan still picks up the Aegis. He's going to pop his ulti as well. Clockwerk not able to trap him the way he wanted to. Doombringer ulti does finally fall through. Probably should have threw out a long time ago. But Lycan going to come forward and just be a trooper, trying to get the kill on top of something. He doesn't care if he goes down because he has Aegis. Aegis does go down. The Wolves kill the Crystal Maidens, and that's on that Storm Spirit going to continue to run away. And I really do think that the cogs on Clockwerk were really good, but they needed to pick up the Aegis. They need to steal it from Lycan, because Lycan picking up the Aegis means, well, Lycan picking up the Aegis. Spectre pops her ulti, gonna let her lose his burn 1, and gonna let her lose her kill the other. Double kill for her, easiest kill for life. Meanwhile, Terrorblade versus the world kills a Bane, and he's gonna work on a Mirana here very soon. Mirana's gonna be able to leap away. She pops her ulti. And TP from Terrorblade, he might be able to find himself a kill on top of Lycan. He actually cancels his TP. Now his TP gets canceled. He got hit with the arrow from Mirana. And Mirana's going to be kiting him around because she's invisible. Terror's starting to run. He's going to turn around, go for the Mirana. Mirana taking a whole bunch of damage, just about to go down. German Vendora's getting popped by Terrorblade. Terrorblade really wants his kill. Spectre shows up, says, bro, you better GTFO. Lycan shows up around the other side. Asunder from Terrorblade. Beautiful, beautiful play. Arrow from Mirana hits Terrorblade in the back. Sadly, Terrorblade did not have an illusion to block for him. And he does go down and boosted travel on Lycan. So boosted travel, Necro Book, plus Vladimir offering equals a crazy, crazy, crazy push coming out from Lycan. And I think this is the beginning of the end for the Dire, because Terrorblade, he can carry hard, yeah, but I don't think he can carry harder than Spectre, especially not right now. Magnus pops himself a skewer. He does have an RP up his sleeve. He can pop if he needs to. Not going to pop it. He gets frostbitten by Coastal Maiden instead. Doombringer ulti does fly on top of Spectre, so Spectre's not going to be doing any more damage to anybody. And Clockwerk. Clockwerk getting chased by Lycan. Get caught inside the cogs, and Cog, that's going to be his own coffin. Plus that negative armor. Meanwhile, Nightmare from Bane fell on top of somebody. I didn't really see who. Lycan Wolves and Lycan Company gonna run around at max move speed because that's what they does. And they have that Lycan ulti.
Lost.
And oh yeah, Magnus has a haste rune. Because that's exactly what he needs. A haste rune. Bane looking for something. TP coming out on the backside. They do see the Bane. Terrorblade wants to go for the kill on top of that. Might be getting baited. They do not have vision on the high ground. Now they have vision. Terrorblade going to go ahead and steal his own Nightmare from Bane because he can do that. Getting on top of Mirana. Needs to go for the Bane. Needs to go ahead and throw a reflection or something. Pop that Q, something. He's going to dodge an arrow from Mirana. No reflection. There we go. Reflection does finally fall through. Bane going to throw the ulti on top of Terrorblade, and Bane should be safe. Terrorblade does go down, sadly. Not that we get too terribly much in Clockwerk. He's going to be the next one to go down because Spectre has a little bit too much damage, especially with that burn, plus those illusions, plus her Desolate, just decimating these guys. And triple kill for Spectre. So GG guys, Spectre fed. Pretty much what it boils down to. At least Storm Spirit picked off somebody. He picked off well, no, yeah, he picked off a Bane. I thought Bane died before, but
top tower was utterly destroyed.
So taking a look at the items, you guys can see that the items are significantly more impressive on the side of the Radiant. If you look at the gold graph, I mean, it's in favor of the Radiant because they've been winning all the fights. The engagements just have been there for them. And really, the power for the Dire, I mean, yeah, they have Terrorblade, and Terrorblade can carry hard, but there's a Spectre. What do you do versus a Spectre, you know?
Dire's top barracks were
Except for try to kill her early game. But this is getting to the late game. This is where Spectre shines. When she has those big items, she has all that survivability, she has all that free damage, and she has a Radiant.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Terrorblade versus Spectre. They're going to be going for the fight. Meanwhile, we have Terrorblade trying to do something. Zip forward coming from Storm. Catches a Lycan. Lycan should be able to pop his ulti and run away. He is going to be able to do that. He actually might want to turn around and fight. Does decide against turn around fight. Beautiful blink in from Magnus and also Skewer, pushing everybody towards the worst spot possible. Doombringer ulti and plus all the other stuff explodes the Magnus. And Lycan TP's out. You know, Terrorblade gonna casually kill everything. Really needs his Manta style. So gonna have some more damage plus some more illusions. The more illusions Terrorblade has, the happier he is. Sadly, this metamorphosis only lasts for a mere 80 seconds, which is a long time. But still, it does run out.
You have no right.
Sunder is up on Terrorblade. He can't use it on his loot, or he can't use it if he needs to. Arrow from Mirana flies, catches nobody at all. Doombringer plus crew are going to go ahead and run away. They caught a mid tower, and that's all they really wanted. Meanwhile, Nestle on that storm, bottles up a region rune. Gonna zip forward, see if he can find himself something. Gonna kill some neutrals. But if he does go to the next camp, he will find a Lycan. Actually, Lycan's decently low. Lycan does have his ulti up. Lycan's gonna go for some damage on top of Storm. Storm's gonna zip away while he can because he noticed that he doesn't want to end it for no apparent reason. Lycan actually still chasing Storm, trying to catch up, really able to catch up. And the Ancients will be getting done by Lycan now. So far, I mean, the fights have been going in favor of the Radiant for obvious reasons. Like I said, Spectre carrying harder than a Terrorblade. So I'm not too terribly surprised about. I mean, Spectre, I still think Desolate, it's a little bit better than Terrorblade's Metamorphosis. Because Terrorblade's Metamorphosis, yeah, it makes some range. Yeah, gives like a huge steroid. But the cooldown on that thing is ridiculously long, as it should be. But it's ridiculously long, which means that it's not reliable. It won't always be there for a team fight. Especially when you talk about late game. Late game, we can expect to see a team fight essentially every 60 seconds or every minute. And the reason for that is because that's about the time it takes for people to respawn. That's about the time it takes for people to actually push back the wave and start fighting towers. And that's also about the time that it takes for people to heal up and then go back out and fight. So about 60 seconds is when we expect to see a team fight. The cooldown on Terrorblade's metamorphosis after that, you guys can obviously see it's a 140 seconds on the cooldown. 80 seconds is how long it lasts. So once you subtract those numbers, that comes out to some number above 80, I hope. So about some number above 80, which I think it might be 90. No, it's not 90. No.
Allies disappear.
Anyway, Mirana ulti goes off. Long story short, his steroid is not reliable. But Spectre's steroid, it is reliable. It has Desolate. I mean, it's always on. But the Central Ward mid does scout out the people running up top, trying to see if they can catch anybody. They're not going to be able to catch anybody. Storm catches a Spectre. Not the best of things to catch, especially not for him. Spectre does not have a diffuse blade, so it doesn't really matter all that. Actually, no, she does have a diffuse blade. That does matter a lot. Meanwhile, Bane does get a Nightmare off on top of Clockwerk. Clockwerk pops him. Oh my god, so much damage for Spectre. Spectre just might be going down here. She might be able to juke. She's taking so much damage, getting slowed by so much. Terrorblade going to be getting caught on the high ground. Does finally go down for his troubles. The Dire, with the rest of his team, not following up with the support. And Terrorblade not able to do enough damage to actually kill anything. Lycan taking a whole bunch of damage, plus the wolves. And here's Storm Spirit getting nightmared up by the Bane. And Storm just casually denies himself.
No more middle barracks.
That's what storms do.
Players here.
Storms just deny you anything, like school or fun. CBD's towers finally getting
Dire's
seized.
bottom tower is in turmoil.
Doombringer ulti falls on top of Mirana.
Bottom
Beautiful
tower
skewer
lies
coming
in
out from
ruins.
Magnus, just pushing Doombringer back to the most uncomfortable places. 4-staff forward on top of Lycan. Lycan pops the ult, gets frostbitten by Maiden. Maiden nightmared up. Clockwerk, power cogs, surrounded. And Lycan running around, gonna go for the kill on top of Maiden instead, and Maiden will be going down. It's like a Lycan wolf. Is that a Lycan wolf? Yeah, Lycan wolf took that thing. Meanwhile, Bane juking some right clicks coming from Neslick. Neslick gonna be getting saved by Clockwerk, presumably, but looks like no. Everybody still dies. And Terrorblade's gonna be up soon. Boom, he's up. He's ready to go kill stuffs. He might be able to get a reflection on top of Lycan because Lycan's ulti's on cooldown for like 6 seconds, but after that, I mean, he's gonna have to kill him fast.
Dire's bottom barracks have fallen.
And the Lycan ulti getting used. Terrorblade still trying to go for the chase. Blink forward and out for Magnus. And Lycan gonna turn. Lycan gonna try to turn on top of his enemy. Meanwhile, Terrorblade, he makes a reflection of Lycan, so Lycan's in ulti form, so it doesn't really matter. What Terrorblade really needs is a bash, but it doesn't really matter. Lycan does finally go down, and Terrorblade going to kill everything that Lycan had and take all the gold for his own. 1,139 gold, guys. That is anything Terrorblade wants, like armor. And he actually steals HP of Maiden. And Maiden gonna run on back to base and heal up. What does Terrorblade need at this point? I would like to see a diffuse blade just because, but it doesn't really. That doesn't really equate to, hey, I have damage. You know, that just equates to, hey, you have no mana. Terrorblade and Illusion are going to go ahead and do some Ancients because they have all the damage that's necessary to do that. They also have survivability. They do find an Illusion. They're going to try to go on it. I don't know if they don't. I don't know if they know that this is not the real Terror. It looks like they do know it's not the real Terrorblade. Meanwhile, Storm Spirit catches a pull on top of Spectre. Spectre going to be taking a little bit of damage. Terrorblade, he's actually there. Where's Terrorblade? Terrorblade's there. Terrorblade's there fighting somebody else. He's fighting a Lycanthrope instead. Skewer forward from Magnus on top of Terrorblade. Terrorblade walking back into base, getting some HP back. And he just might sunder somebody. So he's not going to do it. Meanwhile, Storm, where's Storm? There's Storm. Storm's back in base. Zips out, zips back in, zips out, finds people hiding in the trees, zips back out, gets some more mana. And he's going to keep doing it over and over and over. Arrow from Mana does fly as well. Luck, sadly, didn't fly at the right time. Meanwhile, Spectre does finally go down. Terrorblade able to pick up the kill on top of that. They're going for something. Beautiful RP from Magnus. Catches 2. There's so much damage going towards everybody who's caught inside of that. Terrorblade, he might be able to get a Sunder off just in time, but no, the Ancient explodes before that happens. And that is the end of the game. And that will conclude Random Podcast number... Whoa. That'll conclude Random Podcast number 82. And man, that was actually pretty hectic. What was that? 60 kills? 60 kills in 35 minutes, so about 2 kills per minute. Pretty cool stuff. Once again, shout out to Neslick. I still love you, man. You're awesome. And also shout out to everybody else that was in this game. Pretty impressive play coming out from both sides. Spectre out carrying the Terrorblade. Really cool stuff to see. Spectre's still a very hard carry. And Terrorblade, he he can be a hard carry as well, just not that time. Spectre carried a little bit harder. So anyway, my name is Cul Blu. I was watching you guys' random podcast number 82. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys whenever.